Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Susan here. If you're new here, thank you for visiting this channel. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch my video, and if you're returning, welcome back. Can I just say that this hair color is like, it's giving all that it needs to give. Like I am wowed, I am bamboozled, I'm flabbergasted by this hair color. I just love it. But I'm not talking about my hair color today. I'm here to talk about Dubai, living in Dubai. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm not here to talk about my gorgeous and amazing looking hair today. I'm actually here to talk about Dubai, right? If I woke up like this and I found myself in Dubai, actually no, I didn't do that. We actually planned and we moved here to Dubai some weeks ago, and yeah, I'm just going to be sharing some of my experiences and what I've seen so far, how it is like living in Dubai, and what to expect if you're coming here probably as a visitor and deciding to relocate here, what you should expect. Okay, so like they say, Dubai is beautiful, fast cars, beautiful city, lights everywhere. Yeah, the cars are actually pretty fast. If you guys watched my travel video about Kigali, I complained about slow driving. I complained that the cars were too slow because people were like driving at 60 and all, but here you would see people driving at 120, 150 and it feels normal because every other car around them is probably driving at the same speed, right? Okay, maybe not 150, but I experienced 120 quite a lot. But yeah, what you hear about Dubai, most of it is true. I'm going to be talking about some of those things that you hear that are not true, also on this video as well. So stay tuned if you want to know more about Dubai. So yeah, a couple of people actually asked me some questions. I actually reached out to ask people to ask me questions about what it's like to live in Dubai, and I'm going to be answering some of those questions. Some people ask me questions like, how can I get there from Okokomaiko and stuff, and I'm just going to see you out of this video. But yeah, I'm going to be answering a couple of questions that I got that I think might be useful to anybody that is planning to come here. The first one though, I think this one is more personal. Some people were asking why I'm here in Dubai, and I am not going to answer that question on this video. I would answer it in a future video, and you would know why when I do that video. So just stay tuned and watch out for that video. First of all, before I go on with this video, I want to advise you guys, daddies, mommies, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, uncles and aunties, please, if you're planning to come to Dubai, I would advise you to come during the winter months. Don't come during summer, right? Because Dubai is quite hot during the summer. Some people may like it. I feel like most of the people that would like it are people that stay in countries that are actually cold, right, for the most part, and then coming here is kind of like an outlet. But if you're coming from somewhere like Nigeria that's hot, you're moving from frying pan to fire. Of course, there's lights and every other thing that we don't have access to regularly in Nigeria, so to speak. But if you are planning to come on vacation, I would advise, unless you plan to visit indoor places and do indoor activities, then you should probably come during the winter months, right? Because summer is quite hot. I started growing my hair out. I'm going to do a video on why I cut my hair, and I'm actually glad that I cut my hair during the time we came here, because taking walks and everything and having hair on, no, you're not just going to like it. So it's just better you come during the winter, right? From what I've been hearing, summer is going to be over in, I think, October ending here, and then the weather will start getting a bit cold. Although this morning when I woke up, I checked the weather and it was about 24 degrees, which is unusual because the normal weather here in Dubai is 34 degrees Celsius and above. Sometimes it gets up to 45 degrees Celsius, right? So it's pretty hot. Yeah, so basically take summer clothing. If you decide that you want to come here during the summer, take cool clothes, right? Take clothes that you can wear out. The other side to it though is that if you decide to travel during summer, the only places that are hot are the roads, right? If you go to the malls, they have like massive air conditioning systems that set up the place to be so cool. So you would actually need warm clothes for those places. So it's kind of like a balance. Take cool clothes for when you are outside, and maybe take a sweater or something for when you get inside malls or buildings. Because like literally even hotel lobbies, the walkways, apartments rather, not hotels, but yeah, everywhere there's AC everywhere. So you only be hot like when you're outside. During the summer, it's not comfortable to go flag down a cab outside and be waiting for the cab, because you might end up waiting for like 5-10 minutes and you'd be sweating. Like if you've done makeup, like you're looking like set and everything, like I'm looking right now, you wouldn't like to stay under the sun and waiting for cab, because it's just going to defeat the entire purpose, right? So yeah, of course, for those that are particular about sunscreen, bring your about skincare, please bring your sunscreen, because sun and stuff. Okay, so one of the questions that I got was, what's the process of getting into Dubai? So the person that asked this question is a Nigerian, and for Nigerians you need a visa to get into Dubai. So there's the visitors visa or tourist visa, and I think there is an option for a residence permit, which is typically 2 years. And also, if you want to open a business here, it comes along with a residence permit. So if you decide you want to start a business in Dubai, which is really cool because 0% tax, right? You wouldn't be paying tax here, or almost negligible. I think there are some other fees and stuff, but compared to other countries, if you're starting a business here, it's almost 0% tax. So that comes with a residence permit, right? And typically you're supposed to have gotten the visa before you come in. It's not like Kigali, and the reason I'm making reference to Kigali is because I was there recently, right? It's not like Kigali where you can get a tourist visa on arrival, like travel there and then get the visa. For Dubai, you need to show your visa before you even leave the airport from like where you're coming from. So yeah, that's that. Either get a tourist visa, and if you want to stay long term, it's advisable to get a residence permit. With agents, so I know it's cheaper on the website, but I think with agents it's about 70k. For men, because of some drama that happened in Dubai recently with some cultists and all, it got really expensive with agents, and it was entering like 300k or so to get a visa. So I think that might have changed now, but the last time I checked, they were not even like, it was really hard for guys that were under 30 to get a visa to come to Dubai, right? So that's something to keep in mind as well. Just because some things have gone on here with some Nigerians, it's kind of a bit difficult. The process might be a bit difficult for guys right now. From the last I heard, in fact, I heard something recently yesterday that they are no longer giving people under 40 visas, but I don't think that's entirely true. I think it's just a bit difficult to get the visas right now compared to how it was before. Okay, the next question here is, what do I need to know as a solo traveler in Dubai? So I'm going to be talking about a couple of things to know as a solo traveler. First of all, I'll be talking about transportation, right? So the main means of transportation here in Dubai are the metro and then cabs, like the yellow cabs, right? They're called Hala or something. I hope I got that right. But yeah, you can hail the cabs from an app known as Karim app, and that app, it works like Uber basically, so you can just hail the cab from there. Now metro is the easiest to get around, but of course it would take longer than if you're taking a cab. So for example, where I'm staying right now, if you have to move from here to somewhere downtown, it would take about I think 15 minutes from here to downtown. That's with a cab. But if you're going with like the metro, I think it would take over an hour to get there. So yeah, I mean, it's the cheapest to move around with, but it also takes some time to get there. So yeah, that's the cheapest form of transportation you can get. And also, for you to use metro, you need to buy something known as a null card and load up that card, and that's what you would use like to enter into the buses and I think the trains as well. well. Another thing to note is that if you're hailing a cab from the Karim app, that if you're hailing the halal cab from the Karim app, it's about, the base fee is about 12 dirhams. Okay, so for those that don't know, dirhams is what is being spent here in Dubai. So $1 is about 3.6 dirhams. I hope I'm getting this right. Yes, $1 is about 3.67 dirhams, right? So the base fare, if you are calling a cab from the app, is about 12 dirhams, but if you go outside to flag down a cab, it's about 5 dirhams. So there's kind of a huge difference from when you call the cab, like hail the cab from the app, and when you actually go outside. And of course, it makes sense because the apps will charge their fare as well for using the app. Okay, so another fun fact about the transportation is that if you are here in Dubai and maybe you don't feel comfortable with the guy driving you in the cab, there are actually cabs that are specific for ladies, right? Only ladies drive them, and it doesn't mean that only ladies can enter the ride, but it's for people that don't feel comfortable, like, you know, riding with a guy. And also, and the cabs have like a pink they have the pink roof, right? So you can hail those cabs and get in if you're a lady. Okay, so in terms of safety, I talked about transportation. For the solo traveler, safety, Dubai is one of the safest cities in the world. From the last time I checked, I think it's the second safest city, and so you don't really need to worry about like going out and getting robbed and stuff like that, because there are literally cameras everywhere. In fact, someone told me that you can leave your wallet in a supermarket and you come back and you still meet it there. I was actually watching some YouTube videos and somebody was trying to test out, like, they dropped their wallet and they went to get food and they came back and they still saw their wallet there, right? So I think it's pretty safe to a very large extent, at least so far. From my experience here, even though I don't go out much, so maybe I'm not the best person, you know, to give that feedback about Dubai, but from what I've seen, from what I've heard, you know, being out at night as well is quite safe. Like, I've not heard any crazy stories, right? So where are the places to explore in Dubai? There are so many. There are quite a number of places. There are water parks, there's the Palm Jumeirah, there's the Dubai Creek, there's the Miracle Garden. There are quite a number of places that are cool to explore for a tourist. Dubai is a pretty touristy place, so I mean, there are just places to see. Of course, most of you already know the tallest building in the world is here, the Burj Khalifa. So yeah, there are so many places to see. You definitely have fun if you're coming here as a tourist. Now, I'm going to be talking about another interesting thing that even I myself thought about Dubai before coming here, and it's about how strict Dubai is, right? So there are a couple of misconceptions around, you know, dressing, around alcohol, around a couple different things in Dubai, and I'm going to be debunking some of them right now on this video. Okay, so the first thing is about dressing. Now, contrary to many people's thoughts that you have to be all covered up, you know, when you're in Dubai, that's not exactly the case. Dubai is actually pretty liberal when it comes to dressing. So like, I can wear what I'm wearing right now out, like you can wear, and I feel like this one is even a little bit more covered up, but yeah, you can actually dress up anyhow you want. Of course, for the most part, it's advised that you are moderate with how you're dressing, and for two reasons. This is a Muslim country. Secondly, their culture is quite conservative, right? Most people are fully covered up. If you see the Emiratis, the men and the women alike, they are fully covered up. So it makes no sense for you to come here and now start showing off all your body and all your skin and everything that the Lord has given you. Please just try to, you know, cover up and respect the culture. It doesn't necessarily have to mean you're wearing the entire, abaya and things like that, but just be as moderate and as decent as, you know, humanly possible. Now, if you're going to like the beach, I hear that the Emiratis like are also fully covered up at the beach. From what I've seen and heard, you can, you know, go to the beach with your bikini and things like that, but that's, you know, in the beach. You can't go to the mall in your bikini, apart from the fact that the mall is very cold. It's just a bit disrespectful because a lot of the locals are usually at the mall, so it's better for you to be more decently dressed at places like that. Now, a lot of people say alcohol is not allowed in the UAE, but in fact I have come to know that that is not true. From the knowledge I've been able to gather, if you're a tourist, you can buy alcohol from bars, from clubs, from some specific designated shops, because not most supermarkets don't sell alcohol, right? So you can buy from there. But if you are now a resident, you have to get the permits or the license to get alcohol. Now, I've also been hearing that some people are able to buy alcohol without that license, but I guess that would be in some specific cases. But from what I've seen and the knowledge I've been able to get, you need a license to be able to purchase alcohol if you're a resident, but as a tourist you don't. And yeah, of course, with alcohol also comes responsibility, right? I mean, although they say that the highest cause of death here in Dubai are the car accidents, but I've personally only seen one car accident since I got here, so it's not like every day I've seen like people crashing into each other, right? So I don't think that's typically the case, and that's because I believe that most people are not driving while drunk. So that's also one thing to keep in mind. As much as you might want to get alcohol, don't drink and drive, and then don't harass other people as well. You know, just take a cab home and enjoy your drunkenness alone, right? So yeah, the third thing that there's a lot of misconception about is PDA. And most people will say that you can't hold hands in public in Dubai. You can't kiss your partner in public in Dubai. If you do that, they're going to lock you up in prison for 10 years. Okay, maybe nobody says that. But yeah, I have heard that a lot. And from what I understand, it is fine if you're doing that in the beach. Maybe you're with your partner, your husband, your wife, you know, it's fine to do that. Just like the dressing, right? Nobody's going to come and hold you or arrest you and stuff, but just to be respectful, especially of their culture, because they are more conservative about PDA. You would not generally see an Emirati husband and wife like locking lips and kissing each other in a public place, right? So since that's their culture, it's respectful to, you know, not be rubbing your PDA in their face, so to speak. So nobody would outrightly come at you, but it's just kind of like an unspoken thing-ish where you're not exactly supposed to do that. So yeah, that's something to also, you know, take note of. Somebody mentioned that there was a time that her and her husband were out at the mall, and then, you know, it was just a quick, there was not pecked her and all, and they were about leaving, like, you know. So they were about leaving the mall, and then somebody came to them. I was like, you shouldn't be doing that here. And they're like, oh my goodness, and stuff, you know. So I think that that's possibly, you know, one reason why you might want to be very careful about that. And another thing I also wanted to point out is that not all areas in Dubai are equally accepting of, you know, things like dressing, being scantily dressed, or PDAs and things like that. So from what I've heard, there are some places that are a little less accepting of, you know, that kind of behavior. I saw this on TikTok. I think some places like Sharjah are pretty, you know, they don't want to see you doing that. So they don't want you to, they don't want to see you being scantily dressed, because they are pretty conservative about those things. So yeah, just keep in mind that there might be some places like that, and if you're thinking of going to such places, just, you know, be mindful of that. Don't go wearing a bikini to Sharjah or, you know, other places that might be like that, and less, you know, less accommodating, so to speak, of that, of your liberality. Most of you already know drugs is a highly punishable offense here in Dubai. So if you're caught with even the tiniest amount of drugs, you could go to jail for a long time. I think it's about 10 years, and you would also be made to pay a fine of about 200,000 dirhams, from what I understand. So yeah, please don't bring drugs here, please. So yeah, a couple of things as well to note if you are whether a solo traveler, a solo couple, solo family, traveling here to Dubai. To find an apartment, there are a couple of places. It's quite easy to find an apartment actually. So you can use the website. I think there's dubizo.com, there's Bayut as well. There are quite a number of them where you can find an apartment. So a couple of things, please beware of fraud. I think on Dubizo there are quite some fraudulent people that post stuff there, right? I think there is a way to know the ones that are legit. It might have like something called True Check or so on it. So just be sure that you are not paying anybody money until you have properly seen everything, documentation well done and stuff, before you go further. Don't pay into any accounts, please. Don't do that, just don't. Right? So also another thing about the accommodation is that for the most part their rental agreements spans for minimum of 1 year, right? So of course there are short-term rentals, but for the most part, for most apartments they do long-term rentals, right? So and it's cheaper to get a long-term rental because you can negotiate a lower amount for whatever amount they're charging. Short-term rentals are way more expensive than long-term rentals, and most long-term rentals also come unfurnished, right? A couple of them do come furnished, but some come unfurnished, and so you would get a way lower price if you're taking a long-term rental. So just something to keep in mind. Also, another great thing about the rentals is that if you're trying to get a house, like, you can literally just call up the agent and they can set up a viewing with you that same day, right? So it's that easy. The real estate market is a large one here, so it's quite easy to get an apartment. So yeah, where to live, suggestions, where are places to live in Dubai. I have stayed in Business Bay. Business Bay is pretty cool, although Business Bay is not that upbeat as much as the actual downtown, right? The thing about Dubai is that everywhere is a good place to live, but it depends on what applies to you. So for example, if your work is somewhere in JVT or Dubai Marina, it doesn't really make sense for you to get a place in the downtown area or Business Bay because the commute, right? If you're driving, the commute is not that bad, but it just makes sense for you to be close to where you like your day-to-day is, right? So Business Bay is a bit pricey, but there are other places as well, like JBR, that's Jumeirah Beach Residence. There's JVT, there's JVC. JVT is Jumeirah Village Triangle. JVC is Jumeirah Village Circle. There's Sports City, there's Dubai Marina, there's Dubai South. Dubai South is a bit far from where everything is, but you will get houses cheaper there. Yeah, so there are quite a number of places that you can check out when you're here. I'm trying to think of other ones, but those are the ones that come to mind like right now. If you're looking for like townhouses, if you're looking for villas, if you're looking for apartment buildings, you will find in these areas. So I might do a review on JVT if I have some time before I leave Dubai. But yeah, I think I might also do a review on Business Bay as well. I'm not sure if I might and I might not, but just be on the lookout for that. So somebody asked, is it true that if you go to Dubai, your English will be messed up? I think this is hilarious because, there are lots of videos that you see online where people are, showing how in Dubai you're trying to maybe talk to a delivery person or talk to a cab guy, and the person's English is the person is speaking English, but they are speaking it in a very unique way, right? So I think for the most part, if you are trying to communicate with somebody, first of all, you're not required to speak Arabic here, just so you know, because most people can communicate in English. Their communication in English might be unique, the accents might be different, but they can. So that's not an issue. Now, I feel like if you are in any place, right, and you are trying to communicate, it makes sense for you to kind of blend their accents, right, so that they can understand you faster. If not, you will just be like, if somebody is talking to you and saying, hey, You say, sister, I call you, you know, come, and then you say, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you're going to be there for a very long time, you know. So sometimes you might need to blend, you know, their accent just so that you can keep it moving. For example, when I was in Kigali, I had to kind of start speaking in the Kigali English accent to be able to communicate better. And funny enough, they were understanding what I was saying, right? Because I was blending in their accent with mine. But the funny thing is that when I came to Dubai, I subconsciously was trying to speak English, but with the Kigali accent. And I just caught myself, I'm like, I'm no longer in Kigali, why am I doing this, right? So I think for the most part, people say that because you would sometimes subconsciously you start speaking in the accent that you try to blend with your accent. But I don't think it's that bad. Like, once you leave that location, or, you know, for any reason you're not there anymore, then your accent will naturally come back. I don't think it's going to like spoil your accent. I think that's, I mean, come on. I don't know. I'm just saying, if it has spoiled your accent, please drop that in the comments. I'm interested to see what you know. I'm interested to know if that really happens. I don't know. So somebody asked, is there money in Dubai? Cause now money I find like this. This is funny. Well, if you're asking me whether there's like a building in Dubai where people just drive there and go and pick money, or people just get there and pick money. So if you're asking me if that exists, then that doesn't exist, obviously. But in terms of the economy, I think that Dubai is somewhere that you can it's pretty fast paced. It has a growing economy. There are lots of jobs out there. So I don't want to be insensitive to say it's very easy to get a job here, because that's not the experience of a lot of people. There are still people that struggle to get jobs here. But personally, I believe that it depends on if the skills that you have are available in the market, right? So, for example, for some jobs, there is more availability, you know, for the skills out there than others, right? So I think you just need to kind of do your research and know that. And if, for example, you have to move to Dubai and you maybe have to learn a skill so that you can easily, you know, be employable here, then that might be something to, you know, think about. Yeah, and I think so far that has been my experience in Dubai. Dubai is cool. It is not a bad place. I was really hoping that I will see what winter looks like here, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I hope that if you're coming to Dubai, you have fun as much as I did, and you have a good time here. And yes, if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that other people can see this video and help the YouTube algorithm as well. And it will also mean the world to me, of course. And yeah, please subscribe if you're yet to. And thank you for watching my video again. It was good talking to you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.